Okay, let's go. Who are you?
Uh, hey, I'm Novâfled. You know me. I don't know. I don't know how to do this.
Who are you? Where are you from?
I'm Nova. I'm from Copenhagen, Denmark. I'm 19.
And what do you do?
Make gay music. Gay pop, as JoJo Siwa would call it. You know what I mean?
How was it working with me for this past week?
It's been sick. Change is the nicest person ever. You know,
thank
so we just been working a lot, doing a lot of stuff. It's been very cool meeting up with Change and stuff.
You don't even know a lot about the album I'm working on, but
No, I don't. But you know, we've been working. So we've been working on whatever for the album and stuff. You know, it's gonna be fire.
yeah. How would you describe? Because I can't say what is your producing process because I saw it, but how would you describe it?
Very random. You know, it's like it's just like I'll just like do whatever. I'll find like a sample or some shit. I'll make a melody and then it'll just like cook up and just like see where it goes, you know. But it's very different all the time. Like sometimes I'll take like multiple days to make like one beat, or sometimes I'll be like 10 minutes, you know.
You go so fast.
Yeah.
I think everyone is saying that about you, is that you go so fast.
I mean, when I do like beats for other people, yeah. When I make beats for myself, I usually like tweak them more along the way. Because when I like to tweak them more to my liking, when I like do vocals over it and stuff, yeah, it's definitely different.
That's why I asked those stems from you. I'm the only one that asked from you.
Except Savage Gasp and Kamara.
Okay, yeah, they've been asking the same. Okay, cool. Because let's put it on camera. Who did you produce for?
I mean, Savage Gasp and Kamara, Lil Darky. I produced that Paranoid Agent song. I did some songs for Black, did some stuff for Bad Lad, Brumming God, Warlord Colossus, Teddy Slugs, a Changeline, you know?
Changeline. I appreciate it being on the list.
Yeah. I say that's definitely an achievement. I produced a lot for my friends and stuff too, but I just like hit up artists and then, you know, we work and stuff, and then I send some beats and then they say like, oh yeah, I fuck with this one, you know, and then maybe they record on it, maybe they don't, you know, you never know what happens, but it's definitely like an interesting process to work with like bigger artists, you know. When artists like I send beats, I send like a pack of beats with like an intention of like this is like their style, you know, and I'll make a whole pack based on what I think they would like.
Did you figure out my style?
Yeah, I feel like I did.
I think you did, because every time you send me a couple of beats, I'm like, I just want to use every one of them.
Yeah.
You definitely have productions for big artists and other artists that stick to their style, but also I can feel that it's you behind it. Every time you produce, you have a specific style. Yeah. How would you describe your style?
I mean, it's fleet pop. That's what I call it, right? But it's like, it's a mix of like EDM and like rock stuff, like metal stuff, some indie shit, some like hyper pop stuff. Like that's a bunch of different like shit I listen to that like comes into my beats and like production and stuff, you know. So it's like, but I don't know how to like describe it. It's kind of hard to describe it because it's like there's so much different shit I make.
Yeah,
you know?
I don't think you can like. I mean, that's a good description that you just did. Like, it's like all the inspirations.
Yeah,
you have a sense for cinematic music also, but you have no. How in the fuck do you?
I'm very inspired by like soundtracks, like movie music and stuff like that. I feel like I listen to a lot of like movie music and I'll be like, damn, this is really cool. Like how'd they do this? You know, like strings and stuff and like the electronic elements sometimes like they put in, and I feel like that's really dope. And I like to put like a little like cinematic twist on my songs sometimes, which is like, I feel like it's like really dope when it comes to like rap, for example, like, you know, like having something like be really like epic and like big. And I like the Tenet soundtrack a lot. Ludwig Göransson, he's great. He makes a lot of dope stuff. Like the Tenet soundtrack is very like electronic based, and like it also has strings and stuff. I feel like that's like a good like inspiration point, you know. There's a lot of different stuff. Like Poor Things has a dope soundtrack. Oppenheimer has a dope soundtrack. There's a bunch of great stuff like in movie music. Even in bad movies, like I've watched this one movie with Nicolas Cage called Mom and Dad. It's really bad, but the soundtrack is really dope because it's made by someone called Mr. Bill, who's like an EDM producer, and he's like really dope. and he made a soundtrack for it, which is super sick. But the movie sucks. It's like interesting to watch the movie because the soundtrack, you're like sitting there like, yeah, okay. And then the movie begins and you're like, what is this? You know what I mean?
That's really cool though that you take inspirations from that too.
Yeah.
I think I'm kind of the same. I have a lot of inspirations that people are like, what the fuck, you like that?
Yeah.
Me, it's more for like indie games that no one knows about.
Yeah.
And I like the soundtrack.
The game music is cool too. Like there's a lot of stuff there too. There's a bunch of like music that like nobody knows about that's like just untapped potential, you know.
Do you think you could do game music?
That's like a big dream of mine. Like game music or movie music or like trailer music, like anything in that manner. Like I'd love to do like a soundtrack for something. Like I feel like that'd be really dope.
That would fit your style so much.
Yeah.
But that's also like you don't play that much. You know, you said to me that you don't play video games that much.
I don't really, but like
you used to maybe.
I used to, yeah, a lot more definitely. But I kind of like stopped after a while. I was like, this doesn't really interest me anymore, you know. But I was big into video games for a while.
I think you can definitely produce for video games without actually playing games.
Yeah.
That can actually have an interesting take on the whole medium if you do that.
There's no such thing as like bad music. There's opinions, you know. There's like someone can say like, oh, I don't like this, I don't like that, but I don't think there's such a thing as bad music. Like some people just hate on a genre just because it's a genre, you know. Like I hate that.
Would you consider yourself being a I listen to everything person?
No, definitely not. like I mean, people say that and then they don't listen to everything. Like I wouldn't say that. Like I listen to some stuff from some genres, and like I feel like I listen to a lot of different shit, but I definitely don't listen to everything. I don't listen to like classical music, for example.
Yeah.
Like I like classical music, but I don't listen to it. You know what I mean?
I mean, technically you do if you listen to movie soundtrack, but
yeah, but it's like
that's different. That's not the old classical music.
Yeah, I feel like I can always like see the beauty in like genres and stuff. I can see like why people would like it, why people think this is dope, and it's very interesting like listening to music that you don't listen to, because it's like you can always find like something new and interesting in there, you know. You don't have to listen to everything, you know, just like be appreciated.
Just try it. You have a complicated relationship with social media, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone has.
Yeah.
And with the internet, maybe?
Yeah.
How do you feel about social media?
I mean, I hate social media because it really makes you like feel worse about yourself, you know, in all sorts of ways, and it worsens your state of mind. But you know, I'm always on social media anyway. Like it's like Instagram or like TikTok and like YouTube and all. I mean, I intake all sorts of media and stuff, but at the same time, you know, it's like it's bad for you.
You're on Discord more than anything else, right?
I'm like chronically online.
Yeah, you mentioned that before.
Yeah.
How do you feel about being chronically online? Is it something you want to fix, or
definitely? I need to get out more. You know what I mean? Like, but that's what I've been doing recently. I've been like traveling and stuff. You know, getting out, like seeing my online friends, and that I feel like, and all the artists I work with. You know, and like meeting them has been like really dope. I think that's something like I want to explore more. You know, and just get out and meet people and make music together. And I love being social, but I hate it at the same time because it's very hard for me. But it gives me energy at the same time. So it's like, you know.
Yeah, I got the very same feeling. Yeah. It's so weird because you have those extroverted people who are like, all their energy comes from other people and meeting people. And when they're alone, they're basically just dying. Because
I feel like that's my like anxiety and my ADHD like crashing together, being like, I want to be social. So when I don't, I'll like be really like sad and stuff because it's like, oh no, I'm not being around people too much and stuff like that. And then when I am social, I get really burnt out. So
same, girl, same. We are in the same ship. But yeah, that's interesting because you could be considered a super asocial person, but I don't think you are. And also there's a lot of people who like you. For what I can, like, you're surrounded yourself by, especially in Fleegang, with really, really nice people and really interesting artists. And I don't know how did it happen? I suppose it's like something that came with time. It's not like you found a bunch of people just like that.
No, I'd say like the first person I met like was DG. That motherfucker, bruh. Shout out to him, bro, because he's my homie, bro. He's a goat. I was in like a different friend group, and then I kind of like moved over to DGE, and then I like became friends with him like 3 years ago or 2 years ago, something like that. And then we just like started becoming like really good friends and stuff. And then I kind of got tapped into the whole like rally scene. Flea Gang was also like so different when it started because it was originally called Targets on the Run. That was like the first thing. It was like with a bunch of people, and it turned out really bad. It just ended up like really bad. There was drama, there was, this and that. And then me and DG, we just started a new group called Targets Escape, which was like just me and him. And then I had a different group, which was JNC, which was me and two other people of Targets on the Run, which I had too. And then those kind of stopped like working too. And then we made like Flea Gang, which was called Sanctuary before it was called Flea Gang. And then we took some people out, and then it turned into Flea Gang. And then it was like, and then I met a bunch of people when I went to America, when I went to see DG and Choco. And then we like kind of connected really good. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like you're really a family, like at the end of the day.
To circle back on music, I think I didn't ask you that even as a friend, but like when did you start making music and what was the starting point? Do you remember? I know that I hate when people ask me that because I don't know how to answer.
No, I know how to answer this because I actually talk about this a lot. But I started when I was like 7, I think. I had like this recording like tape recorders, shit. Did I tell you about that?
Yeah, you told me about
that. I had this tape recorder, and I used to record like beatboxing and like just me like saying random words and just like doing a bunch of stuff like rapping basically, but it was like gibberish because I couldn't speak English. I was like 6 years old. I started recording on my parents' computer, and it was like I found like hip hop music, beat, instrumental. I was like searching on YouTube, and I was like trying to find like some like weird ass instrumental, and then I just like recorded it through the mic and then rapped on it in this like because I couldn't like, and then I just said like one word of English. I'd be like everything, and it was like I'll just like start like saying the most random shit. I turned them into songs and whatever, and I made like albums and stuff, and then burned them on CDs and gave them out to people.
Fuck, you did that?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
And then I kind of started on like GarageBand when I like started school and stuff, because they had like GarageBand at the school. I started like working on that and just like dragging in loops and like making songs out of just loops they had on GarageBand, and not even like making anything original, just putting like random loops in. And then that was like for a bit, and then I got like Logic, and then it was like, okay, now I need to lock in. And then, yes, I started rapping like officially like in 2017, I think. That's when I like really started taking shit seriously, because I was just like a producer kind of for a while, and I wasn't really rapping on my own beats at all. I was rapping on other people's beats and stuff. But then I started like rapping and then taking shit seriously. I've been around music all my life, so it's like, it was just like, oh yeah, I fuck with music, let's make some.
Yeah. Yeah, because what
it wasn't like a thought to be like, oh, I want to start making music. Mm-hmm. It was just like, oh, I'm doing it.
Yeah, I'm just doing it.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I'll just like write some, and then it turns out to be like the most heartfelt song I've ever wrote, and it's like, damn, I didn't even expect that to turn out that way. And it's like, but I definitely write, like, I put a lot of like emotions in my music.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's why I'm asking, because I see that you don't overthink your lyrics that much. Yeah. But sometimes they're really super interesting and super deep. So that's why I was like asking, because like
it's I mean, I don't like think about lyrics that much even. Like, I just like say shit, because I punch in a lot. So it's like I just like say the first thing that comes to mind, and it happens to be, the best thing.
You don't overthink shit, and that's one of the things that I like the most about how you make music, is that's what I'm always, as an overthinker, that's what I'm always looking for with people that I work with, is that If you guys don't overthink, that's
Yeah.
perfect, because that's gonna help me not overthink.
Nah, but that's my like ADHD brain, just like being like, oh yeah, let's do this, let's do that, let's just do a bunch of shit, and it's like having fun, you know. But I don't like listen to music for the lyrics, which I know is very like controversial. I don't listen to music for the lyrics, which people always like. Oh, you need to like, and I'm just like, I like the vibe of music, you know. I like the vibe. I go for like the feeling I get, the like sonic like
Yeah.
yeah.
I feel like it's less and less controversial because more and more people don't really care about lyrics as much as
Yeah,
they
I mean,
used
like
to.
if you listen to like some of the biggest artists right now, like the biggest rappers, like Heat and stuff, you know, it's like they're not really saying shit, and it's like people love it, you know.
And I think, no, but I think even in like what we consider random lyrics and like random shit in lyrics, you can still find a lot of
Yeah,
thing in it. I mean, I know BB No Money's lyrics are not that deep, but still he writes pretty well because it's, and to the extent where it's funny and it's memeable, does it have to be always super deep? No. Because
but you can still appreciate someone's like lyrics and stuff, like
of course. Yeah. I want to ask about being queer,
Yeah.
if you feel comfortable sharing that.
Yeah.
I mean, we're between trannies, so that's fine. And if you're not comfortable saying anything, but because we're gonna have to wrap this up at some point. I have a plane, guys. At some point, do you feel like being queer influences your music, or not that much?
No, I feel like it does.
It does?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, like I talk a lot about, you know, my issues with and my like thoughts on being queer, you know, and stuff like that. I feel like, you know, it very like I put a lot of that stuff in my music. I mean, people mostly like probably don't notice, you know, but it's like I do talk about it because I feel like it's very important to me. I also talk a lot about like mental health. I feel like and stuff, you know, it's like that's very important to me too. You know, talking about that mental health, queerness. You know, it's like those people like that need awareness. You know, that to spread awareness about like this stuff. You know, and it's like the minorities and
I talked with, I mean, pretty big names for me about you, and everyone's like, "Oh, she's so dope," and having a queer person being like that, like we are behind so much good shit though. Like hyperpop was started by Sophie, who's a trans person.
Hyperpop is just like the trans genre.
Yeah,
like,
come on.
Like hyperpop is just a trans genre. Like trans people started hyperpop.
Do you feel like you are easily accepted as a queer people in the music circle you have?
I mean, yeah.
You had like beefs about that?
I mean, yeah, I've had beefs with people because of, you know, me being trans or gay or whatever it is, you know. But I feel like I just cut people off, you know, that don't, you know, that don't accept me. If someone doesn't accept me for who I am, I can't fuck with them. You know what I mean? Like, but everyone I surround myself with is supportive, and I would not surround myself with someone who isn't.
What's your relationship to your audience, and I want to say like fame, and is it something you look for?
I mean, I wouldn't say that I'm like big or like famous at all. Like I think I'm very small, like a very small artist. Like, but I don't talk to my like fans very often. I'm like very bad at connecting with fans and stuff. Right? But I feel like people are also scared to talk to me.
Yeah,
for some reason.
Maybe.
Like I've heard like a lot of people be like, oh yeah, I was scared to talk to Nova, and then I actually got to talking with her, and it was like, oh yeah, she's really dope and stuff, and it's like, you know, but I don't want to be like mega famous or anything. I just want to be like where I can like live off of, you know, music and stuff, and just be like happy about it. But I'm also like very bad at promoting myself, you know. So.
Yeah, it's fine. I think you'll get there because the art speaks for itself.
Yeah, that's what I think, at least. Like for me, it's like I just like release music, and then people can, you know, promote it themselves, you know, and be like, if they really think the music is dope, then it's like then it's just gonna go somewhere.
What advice would you give to anyone watching this right now?
Be yourself. Be yourself. Just keep going. Like, just do man, like, just kill it, bruh. Just, I don't know what to say.
That works. Honestly, we can end up there. We have 20 minutes. Thank you so much.
All right.
Look, I'm gonna pop up real quick. Hi! She's wonderful.